My dear, I did it. I really did it. I finally defeated the beast. Well now, where have you gone? Oh. There you are, little one. I almost didn't see you underneath all these blankets. I thought you were a mere bedroll. I'm sorry to have dragged you out into the cold. Adventuring isn't for everyone, is it? You look positively miserable. I know you offered to travel with me, but maybe I shouldn't have agreed. I hadn't given much thought to the fact that you are a blacksmith, and therefore much more accustomed to high heat than the extreme cold of the forest. In my experience, sharing body heat is a much better way to handle the cold than all alone under a blanket. Let me remove my armor, and then I'm all yours. Much better. Now, let me in there with you. There we are. That's it, my dear. Just lay your head on my chest. Isn't it so much warmer with me in here with you? Comparing me to the furnaces you're so used to working on? Is that a compliment? Well, you could be implying that I'm useful in creating beauty. Or you could be telling me I puff lots of black smoke. I jest. I know you would never insult me like that. I see the way you look at me, you know. You aren't as sly as you think you are. I suppose you're right. Maybe you aren't trying to be sly. But I do see it. I appreciate that you view me so highly, although I do not know that it is warranted. I must admit you are right again. I did, in fact, defeat the beast plaguing that poor town today. Would you like to hear how I did it? Well, after eating the wonderful lunch you packed me, thank you again for that, I was almost at my wit's end as I had scoured the outskirts of the town searching for the lair of this beast. I had nearly given up and was headed back to town to pick up supplies for us, when I heard a woman shrieking to high heavens. I followed the sound and found the beast perched on her roof. He had bounded up atop the chimney and was basking in the heat of the smoke while he eyed her poor dairy cow. In order to draw it away from the house, I began to shout at the creature, and when I tell you, I was briefly unsure I had made the right decision. It flared its wings and snapped its jaws and began to prowl off the roof toward me. Oh, don't be so concerned. Yes, you are. I can see the furrow in your brow from here. Trust that I am all right. You watched as I removed my armor to confirm as much. Where was I? Ah, yes. So, it begins to stalk toward me, its tail flicking, large back paws like that of a cat, and front legs like that of a bird of some sort, and I do the only thing that can come to mind. I brandish my shield, I draw my sword, and I charge the beast. This is a creature that has long since enjoyed the townfolk being afraid of it, and therefore running at its approach, so I assumed it wouldn't know how to handle someone charging it directly. And I was correct. It reared back, but not before I slashed at its front legs. Its talons connected with my shield just as intended, and I was able to get underneath the beast. But just before I could disembowel the creature, its back paw connected with my side and sent me rolling towards the ditch running near the woman's house. Now, thankfully, the woman had gathered her children and had begun to flee at this point, because the beast, deciding I was no longer a threat, turned back towards its would-be meal of the cow. I can't stand by and watch someone's livelihood be stripped from them. I had to stop it from consuming the cow. So, Standing up again, I recentered myself and once again raised my shield and then my voice. The beast turned to me, but this time it expected a charge from me, one that it would not receive. Well, I knew it would be expecting me to come directly at it this time, expected my brazen behavior to continue. So, this time, I had scooped up some rocks from the path and began to throw them at the creature's head. I figured it would not enjoy me taunting it. I figured correctly. Despite its deduction on how I would carry out my next attack, I had riled its temper, thus encouraging it to lunge at me. I quickly evaded it by sidestepping and knocking my shield into the creature's side. It was thrown off its balance and tumbled down the hill. I quickly gave chase. Bounding down the hill, I found that it had rolled all the way into the stream below. The beast's feathers were now covered in water and it was hissing like a banshee. It struggled to gain purchase in the river stones and once again waterlogged itself. I believe it heard my laughing, and before I could move towards it, it had moved to the other bank, shaking the water from its back, taking flight away from the village. So, unfortunately, my defeating the beast was specific language, as I was not able to slay it. However, I do believe it will leave the village alone for a while. And in the meantime, we will continue to follow its path northward. If you want to continue traveling with me, that is. If you aren't too chilled. You can answer me in the morning, little one. For now, rest with your head on my chest. The adventure will still be there in the morning.